In the near future, the world will come to an end due to pandemics, climate change, a lack of water, and the collapse of electricity infrastructures. Australia is a vast wasteland except for a small town known as the Green Place of Many Mothers. Furiosa was picking peaches with a companion when they heard a disturbance. Furiosa goes to investigate despite her friend's reservations and discovers a group of motorcycle marauders. She cuts the gas pipe from one of their bikes, but as she is about to do the other, she is discovered by a biker named Toe Jam. Furiosa quickly stabs his legs and flees, blowing a whistle to alert the townspeople. Unfortunately, the bikers catch up with her and kidnap her using a whip. Soon, Furiosa's mother, Mary, and a group of warriors on horses begin following the bikers. They shoot down a rider, and Mary kills him with her sword before taking his bike. Before Mary travels to rescue Furiosa, the village leader provides her with lots of ammunition and warns her that no one who knows where their home is allowed to survive. Mary quickly kills another rider from a distance with a shot, and the remaining two men pause to assess the situation. While they are preoccupied, Furiosa chews another gas pipe, breaking it as well. When the motorcyclists notice Mary approaching, they ride away again, and Mary takes use of the opportunity to repair the fallen bike with the one she stole, allowing her to have gas for longer. The pursuit continues, and in the middle of the night, a bike runs out of gas. When the guys start squabbling about what to do, Furiosa seizes the opportunity to cut the ropes around her wrists and flees. Sadly, the biker approaches her and captures her again. Mary sees them at the bikers' camp in the morning and shoots another rider, leaving Toe Jam and Furiosa. He tells his friends he found abundance, but Furiosa jumps off and throws Toe's weapon into the wheel, crashing him. Furiosa and a badly injured Toe Jam visit Dementis, the warlord. Furiosa tries to kick Dementis after Toe Jam dies while answering his questions. Dementis keeps her and treats her well to gain her trust because she won't tell them where she lives. Mary steals the falling biker's armor outside the tent to escape a sandstorm. She infiltrates the camp and kills until she finds Furiosa's tent. She kills another man but feels sorry for Furiosa's cleaner, who claims to be a victim and mother. She quickly alerts after Mary and Furiosa leave. A guard shoots and burns Mary's back, forcing her to stop and undress. They speed away on the bike, but Mary hears Dementis and his group approaching. She tells Furiosa to go home and gives her a peach seed to plant. Mary shoots down a rider, but is quickly surrounded and defeated. Furiosa returns to investigate and finds the group hanging Mary from a crucifix. They hurt her by asking her nationality, but she refuses to betray them. Dementis makes Furiosa watch his men taste Mary's tears while killing her. Dementis imprisons Furiosa and makes her watch his people's entertainment. After fighting brutally to choose the ceremony participants, they ride bikes that pull chains to dismember a man. Furiosa throws away Dementis' daughter's teddy bear without saying a word. Next day, as they ride away, the history man offers to teach Furiosa to write and read so she can help Dementis, but Furiosa refuses. She may have chosen silence indefinitely. Furiosa finds ink in the cage's luggage one night and tattoos a star chart on her arm to remember how to get home. Several days later, Dementis' gang explores the wasteland and sees a red smoke explosion. They ride there and find a Citadel warboy fighting for Immortan Joe. Dementis asks to meet the leader, threatening to harm them if they don't agree, but promising freedom and prosperity. When Immortan Joe arrives, his assistant asks Dementis to choose a warboy to continue negotiations. A chosen boy paints his teeth, jumps off a bridge, slips down cables, and explodes, dying. Joe's aide says all warboys will die for Joe, and after the leader flees, the boys attack Dementis' group. With hanging chains, many men are killed and many bikes are stolen. Now Dementis' gang must flee. Finally, Dementis and his gang reach Gastown, the wasteland's second fortress. After waiting for a convoy to leave, they surround the town on the road and kill all the defenders. The gates are opened to save the convoy after Dementis starts executing his disguised soldiers to look real, forcing them to open. After entering the town with his army, Dementis takes control. Immortan Joe agrees to organize a meeting after the Gastown leader points the finger. Dementis attacks the town's leader with a nipple device. After beseeching his brother Joe for mercy, Joe's sons attack and Dementis kills him, losing his nipples. He then claims that he has planted bombs across Gastown and is the only one who can activate or deactivate them, so he will blow up the town unless he is named Gastown leader. However, Joe becomes interested in Furiosa, so Dementis claims she is her daughter. In the end, Immortan Joe gives Dementis Gastown for Furiosa and a motorcycle. Dementis doesn't like it, but returns his bear before leaving. Joe then declares Furiosa his wife and takes her into his harem. Joe is disappointed when one of the ladies has a girl because he only wants boys. Joe's child keeps touching Furiosa's hair, creeping her out. To avoid attention, she chops her hair and makes a wig from a net and candle wax. Furiosa disguises herself as a boy and stays silent to become a worker. She climbs and jumps well and quickly rises in the mechanics, who operate the chains that lift old cars. Furiosa acts silent and participates in Joe's loyalty rites for 15 years, remaining unknown. Praetorian Jack, the most successful road racer, will drive this rig. After much hard work, Jack takes the rig on its first voyage and finds himself surrounded by former Dementis' gang members who have formed their own group. They hit the rig from above with bike parachutes. Furiosa bikes with the convoy and ends up under the rig, avoiding another enemy bomb. After the mechanic is murdered, she fixes the damage with his tool. Furiosa loses her cap when a truck explodes and hits the trailer front. Jack learns the truth when she emerges from the rig, saying she's a good warrior regardless of gender. Jack promises to teach Furiosa everything about road survival, so she joins his team. Furiosa becomes Jack's right hand and travels with him while Joe runs. One day, they stop in Gastown for fuel and discover that Dementis' poor leadership and supply shortages are threatening the town's collapse. But civilians riot before they can leave. Jack's squad flees with Furiosa in charge, and Jack shooting anyone who gets close. Furiosa's shoulder is stabbed as they pass the gate. Jack handles it quickly and gently. On returning to the Citadel, they deliver Dementis' message. Joe asks Jack to bring all Bullet Farm weapons they can find. After healing Furiosa's wound and asking about her tattoo, Jack reveals how his parents died. Furiosa shows him the seed and invites him to help her discover abundance. Next day at Bullet Farm, Jack makes Furiosa drive a security vehicle instead of the rig. First came Dementis and his soldiers. Furiosa drives back through the gate as Jack gestures. The enemy strikes. Jack shoots people, while Furiosa kills the gatekeeper and helps her friend shoot through the fence. Furiosa runs to the truck to wait as Jack returns to the rig and hits the gate. After firing a green smoke bomb to summon reinforcements, Jack drives forward to crush enemies while activating the drill instead of joining her. Furiosa drives away, but feels bad and sneaks into the farm as a sniper. Furiosa kills more men, but her last shot hits Dementis. Dementis hangs from a bridge as Jack hits all the structures with the rig. A tower falls on the rig and gets stuck in a hole, so Jack climbs out before it collapses. Furiosa bikes and hooks him. To follow Furiosa's map, the trio flees immediately. The shootout starts when they catch up. Furiosa's tattooed arm is crushed by Dementis' truck and car. The truck's massive wheels crash the car. A pair is caught. Jack dies slowly from bike drag. Furiosa watches Jack die from the car's back by her injured arm. Dementis sits on his truck for hours as bikers circle, creating dust. He finds Furiosa hiding in the dust cloud after getting bored and leaving her arm behind. Chase her and find she's chained the truck's chain to a wheel, which falls off when he starts the engine. Furiosa faints after walking in the sun after her stolen bike runs out of gas. Thankfully, a Citadel guard returns her. She wakes up from the sick bay and wants to see Joe after a healer applies maggots to her wounds to prevent infection. Jack recalls Praetorian Furiosa warning Joe that Dementis will bring many weapons. Furiosa claims Dementis is burning Gastown to force Joe to reveal the Citadel. Joe suggests they pretend to go to Gastown to trick Dementis, and Furiosa begs for his head. A group of Gastown trucks are going to the Citadel. Dementis cheerfully announces minutes later. "Get the trucks," Joe's assistant says. After 40 days of brutal fighting, Dementis and Joe's men die on the road. For her loss, Furiosa shaves her head and builds a mechanical arm. She orders a car from the mechanics, after she steals one of Joe's boys' fighting cars. A few days later, Dementis notices 2 of his remaining troops were shot down while traveling. He orders his crew to split up to ambush a car. Furiosa chases the main vehicle after hitting bikes with her car. An old man in Dementis' cape is bait. She grabs the cape and pulls him into quicksand, killing him. After that, she follows motorcyclists to find Dementis and recognizes a long-haired man. But as he falls, she realizes it was another disguise. Furiosa thinks Dementis is the only one driving away, after hiding behind fabric. Dementis uses up all his ammo trying to shoot Furiosa when he emerges. He kneels and surrenders when the car gets close after fleeing. Furiosa asks if Dementis remembers her in his cloak, but he only recognizes her as Jack's partner and steals her dagger. Furiosa knocks him out with a broken handle. Dementis awakens chained. Dementis ignores Furiosa's account of her role in her mother's death and suffering 15 years earlier. Dementis talks while Furiosa beats him. He collapses on the beach from a seizure. Some say she shoots him in the head, while others say she pulls him to the back of her car and drops him on a tree like he did to her mother. Dementis feeds Mary's seed to a peach tree after Furiosa sneaks him into the Citadel. She starts Fury Road by helping Joe's wives escape in a truck after collecting the fruit.